Hi everyone. Um, now we're going to learn about programming. So we're going to learn programming by first getting into PHP. So PHP is a very popular language that has been around for a while. It has a strong community behind it. It has great documentations, php.net. And there are a lot of developers who are using PHP to build web applications. So some of the famous sites that were built using PHP, Facebook was initially built using PHP, WordPress, Wikipedia, I think was also built on PHP. There are a lot of sites like Joomla, Drupal, all of those programs are built using PHP. So it's very popular, it's open source, you don't have to pay for it, and it's very easy to learn. So you're going to first learn PHP and then we'll introduce you to some other languages. But we felt that this would be a good language to master first, and then once you understand how programming works, then we're going to introduce you object-oriented programming and MVC framework. So now this chapter is going to be especially useful for those who have never done programming. So if you have done some programming before, like Java or C++ or something else, some of the concepts that we'll teach in this chapter will be pretty basic. So if you already feel like you understand this, still watch the videos and still do the assignments. But if you have done programming before, you'll probably be able to do the assignments faster. Now, if you're new to programming, I don't want you to be scared. Programming is something that everyone can learn, and sometimes you may think it's more complicated than it really is. So in programming, it really comes down to a few things. One is you're basically using logics to tell the program what to do. So from top to bottom, you'll say, okay, if this is what happens, then do this. If it does this, then do this. If not, then do this. If not, do this. Okay. So if and else statement, which you will learn, is very critical, and it's just a way for us to tell the computer what to do, right? If this condition is true, then do this. If not, do this, and so forth. Now, another important concept in programming is for loop. So for loop, it just goes through the loop. So for example, you can say, okay, do this 10 times, and this is what I want you to run, these 10 times. Okay. So for loop, if statement, else statement, and then also understanding variables. Variables are basically places where you can store information. You can store numbers, strings, arrays of information, and different types. So programming is really all about that. Programming is just using if statement, using for loops, using some logics, and then storing information in the data in different variables, and that's all it is. It's really down to those three things, right? So just make sure that you understand how the for loops work, how if and else statement works, and also how you can store information in variables. And if you know that, then you can write programs. It's really pretty straightforward. So don't get overwhelmed. Now, if you're new to program, again, watch the videos, type as you watch the videos, and make sure that you understand every single concept in this chapter is really important. If you skip some of these concepts, then you're going to be confused later down the line. So just make sure you do all the assignments, you watch the videos, and type along. Okay? All right. Good luck.